Hi boys and girls, how are you doing? It has been a long time since I've come to talk to you. I know we're learning about parables and I'm really excited for the one today because when I first saw the title, I thought, is that really a parable? And then I read it and I said, sure enough, I remember this story. So I think you will too. It is the parable of the rich farmer. So you got some thoughts in your head? When I think farmer, I think of all of the fields, you drive by on road trips and all that hard work that a farmer does. Thank goodness too, they bring us such yummy foods, with our cattle and our crops. I really appreciate the farmers. And this one is about a rich farmer. And it comes from the book of Luke. So, got my Bible here. Where is Luke? Is that in the Old Testament or the New Testament? That's right, it is in the New Testament. It's toward the back of the Bible. It is one of the four Gospels, the Gospels of Jesus, and Jesus lived in the New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So if you can open up your Bible to Luke, we will read it real fast. Because it's pretty quick. It is in Luke 12, beginning in 13. Someone in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." All of, the money, the wealth that you get when family passes. That's an inheritance. Jesus replied, "Man, who appointed me a judge or an arbiter between you?" Then he said to them, "Watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed." Ooh, that's the word we're going to talk about today. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. Do you guys know what greed is? Greed. You can be greedy, like the Grinch. The Grinch was greedy and he stole all the presents from Christmas. Greedy. Maybe you look at your friend's plate of cookies and you say, "They got way more than I do. I want some more." And you get greedy and you get all the cookies. Greed can look pretty ugly. Well, here is our story of the rich farmer in picture form by Mrs. Mary Sue Osborne. Remember, this is in Luke 12. There was a rich man, there he is, who had some land, which grew a good crop. He was only thinking of himself and how much he had. Since his crop was so good, he wouldn't have room to store it. He didn't think about sharing all this good crop with others. Be the nice thing to do. If you have a ton of apples from your apple tree, don't you share them with your friends? Nope, not this guy. He looked at his great blessing of a good crop and he thought about how he could keep it for himself. He thought, "I'll tear down my little barns and build bigger ones, and I will store all my crop." Do you think he was only thinking of himself? Yes, he was. So he tore down his little barn and built bigger ones. Look at him, stored up all his crops. But you know what happened? He died. His treasures didn't do him any good. Our treasures are lasting when we lay them up in heaven. Our heavenly treasures are those kind things we do for others because we are loving others as God has loved us. Today our craft is also a fun story. So if you have your piece of paper, follow along with me. It's about another rich man. You see, he was very unhappy. So he decided to go buy himself a boat because he thought, if I'm out on the open water, I will surely be happy. So fold a corner of your paper down and make yourself a little sailboat. Well, out on the open ocean, he wasn't happy. So he went back to land and said, "You know what? I'll buy myself a nice big house and that will make me happy." So he went and bought himself a new house. So fold that corner down there. Well, it was just a bunch of empty rooms. It didn't make him happy. So he said, you know what? I need a plane. I need a plane so I can fly to all these really great places. So he bought a plane. So we're gonna make ourselves a little airplane here by folding our house in half. Folded my house in half. Now I'm gonna tuck the wings down. So he flew around and he still wasn't happy. And he said, well, of course I'm not happy because this is nothing new. Like, people can travel all the time, but who can travel to the moon? You know what? I'm gonna buy myself a rocket ship. So we're gonna tear off these wings. And he bought a rocket ship. Blasted to the moon. But he still wasn't happy. It wasn't until he realized the only thing that could make him happy was always right there. Jesus. Jesus Christ died on the cross for us so that we could always be happy. Isn't that a pretty cool thing? I like to do this and then hang it up. It reminds me that these things of the world, they won't make you happy. You can buy a lot of cool things, but if you don't have Christ at the center, you'll always feel a little empty. So, my last thing I'd like to show you, I've got Larry the cucumber here in a jar. See how he fits really nice? He's surrounded by marbles. And I'm going to take him out, but I'm going to take Larry out. And Larry is going to represent our God today, okay? And all of these marbles are going to represent our blessings, just like the rich farmer. So if I, took out a marble and I counted my blessings, I would say my husband Sid, my daughter Liv, my daughter Aria, my dog Leo, my home, my good health, my job. The rich farmer would say, my good crop, my big barn. You could count your blessings, right? Tons in here. And then you can think about putting God in as an afterthought. Thanks God, really appreciate it. I can't fit God back in there. I'm trying, but he doesn't fit. You see, if we store up all of our treasures on earth and we don't put God in first, he doesn't fit. And we will live a lonely life. And it's just not the right thing. The rich farmer died and he couldn't take all of his treasures with him to heaven. So why bother? But you see, if I take all my blessings out and I put God in first, if God is the very first thing in my life, and then I ask God, will you please bless me with a wonderful spouse, lovely children, good health, good home, a good job, you will find that everything fits and has a place. There's my Larry. Same amount of blessings, but now they all fit. You just got to keep God in there to begin with. So I encourage you to count your blessings, to keep God first, to remember not to be greedy because you can't take it with you. God gives us everything we need. Until next time, bye-bye.